Welcome to Islamic Life Coach School Podcast. Apply tools that you learn in this podcast and your life will be unrecognizably successful. Now your host, Dr. Kamal Akhtar.
Hello, you guys. It is so good to be here among all of you. Even though I can't see you, it's almost like I'm still talking to you. It is so empowering having to hear what you guys learn and implement from these podcasts. I get such a rush from it, and I totally love it. It is my mission in life to make your mental health as independent as possible, meaning you can be proficient enough in recognizing and cleaning up your thoughts that you don't need to rely on someone outside of you to be able to provide that service to you. You can internalize the whole process that you could perform daily through thought hygiene and recognize that results that you're creating are your choice. I compare this process to the development of computers. In the beginning, when computers were first invented, they were such complicated machines that you needed years of schooling and learning of languages before you could even use one. Now, even the most advanced, complicated technology is in the palm of our hands. And a true leap in technology came when it became more accessible, meaning it grew exponentially when it was handed out to the public at minimal cost. That is our attempt with mental health at Islamic Life Coach School. All of my efforts are to help you recognize that your mental health is in your hands through the tools that we teach. And once you can harness that secret, your growth will be exponential, just like smartphones did to technology. You can be proficient in feeling better now through these mental health tools, just like you can access an infinitely complex web of information through your smartphone without being an expert in computer science. That is what I'll count to be my contribution to society. That is my purpose in life. So in an attempt to access mental health like a user-friendly smartphone, we have the formula, or otherwise taught to me as a model, CTFAR. Circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. And we are continuing to clarify these concepts and really make our skills razor sharp through the concepts in these podcasts. Thoughts are responsible for pretty much everything we are creating in our life. Today, I want to go over a concept which is very confusing to a lot of people in the beginning. Basic example of a formula might look like this. We bought a new house, that is a circumstance. Thought, this is a beautiful new home. Feeling, grateful. Action, work hard in settling in, moving furniture, getting used to the new routine. Result, whole moving process is a breeze, you enjoy the new house. Or the same circumstance can look something like this. Circumstance, we bought a new house. Thought, we have a lot of things to move. Feeling, anxious. Action, procrastinating. Reactive out of anxiety and being short with movers, family, kids, husband. Result, moving process is a nightmare. You didn't enjoy the new house experience. Now, to my new listeners, no, this is not magic. This is a formula we follow at Islamic Life Coach School, and it is the simplest way to explain the complex web of thoughts that is the mind. And since my claim is that I will make mental health user-friendly, I am teaching you this tool in all of its intricacies. One common mistake that people make when we end up with a negative thought, like in the example above, is that we switch the action line from a different formula to justify our more acceptable actions. I realize that the topic needs further exploration because the shift is so subtle that it goes unnoticed. Pick one difficult thought out of the thought output or brain dump, or journaling, or whatever you might want to call it, when you write down all of your thoughts and apply the formula to it and do it all the way through, meaning apply the formula to just one thought. Do not stop in the middle and start with another thought because you will end up confused. You will realize once you have solved for one thought, the other thoughts will get solved by a domino effect. In a lot of cases, we end up doing what I call a crossover formula. Let's say you're having negative thoughts. I hate my body. With that negative thought, you will try and avoid how it makes you feel, so you'll say to yourself, I will not overeat. That will be your action line, but that is actually an action line from a different formula where you might be thinking, I want to lose weight. Another example is that I believe I'm bad at math, and the action line you come up with is, I find a way to study hard so I can pass my class. This is another crossover formula. Or I'm thinking I'm not a good enough parent and the action is forcing myself to be a better parent. I'm a procrastinator, action is still to get things done in the last minute because that's just how I roll. This is not how it works, my friend. What you're essentially doing here is that you're superimposing one formula over another or crossing them over. All these examples are of a crossed over formula. The original thought is stressing you out, and a different thought is driving you to take action. Formulas can be intermingled like this if you don't take time to write it down, really showing yourself that your T line is proving your R line, and vice versa. Now, if you don't like math, you're really going to hate this next analogy I'm going to give you. The formula is like a geometry theorem. Yes, I said geometry theorem. Basically, you go line by line, proving one line after another. If A equals B and B equals C, then A must equal C. An example of this is the Pythagorean theorem. I can't believe I just said Pythagorean theorem in the podcast, which is related to mental health. No one is searching for that keyword in mental health, that's for sure. But I don't care, because this analogy works. Same proof can be applied to your formula. To get the most out of your thought output, you do not move on until you can prove that each line results in the next. It is a way to make a linear, clean formula. Let's pick one charged example. Thought. My mother-in-law is very intrusive. You might want to write down the action that I make polite conversation with her out of expectation. Your brain will go to extreme measures to have you avoid negative thoughts and emotions, but that will not serve you. If you're having these thoughts about your mother-in-law, then give yourself permission to think it. All of your thoughts are valid. If you immediately want to switch over to a positive thought about your mother-in-law, I'm here to tell you that it can be done, but it will fail you in the long run. You have to make space for your negative thoughts. So, what is an example of a correct formula in this? Thought. My mother-in-law is very intrusive. Feeling. I feel angry. Action. I tell my mother-in-law to mind her own business. Or, thought. My mother-in-law is intrusive. Feeling. Helpless. Action. Avoid taking any action thinking it won't do anything or it won't change anything. Or, another example. Thought. My mother-in-law is very intrusive. Feeling. Irritated. Action. I complain to my husband. All of these formulas are correct because they are linear. Feeling causes an action that is directly in line with it. They are very different from a disconnected, crossed over formula, where you were thinking that my mother-in-law is intrusive, but you're making polite conversation out of a sense of obligation. Now notice, I did not say that these clean linear formulas are very pretty. There is a lot of discomfort in these formulas. This type of thinking generates a lot of discomfort. But unless you lean into this discomfort, you cannot do anything to change it. And it will feel you do not have any power over your thoughts because you will be spending all of your energy running away from those thoughts and suppressing them. I know it is difficult. I know you want to be a good daughter. You should be loving towards your mother-in-law. After all, that is what's expected of you. And believe me, it is possible for you to be that loving daughter-in-law, but it just cannot be done out of judgment for yourself when you're crossing one formula over the other, ignoring your true thoughts. If I haven't already proven it to you, I will continue to show you how your negative thoughts do not make you a bad person. Just trust me on that one. So today we learned how I'm simplifying mental health so it is friendly like a smartphone, so you all can then take it to the next level and we all benefit from it exponentially. We also learned that while using this tool, we will be making some common mistakes, and I have gone over a very common mistake in this podcast called crossing over the formula and how to solve for it. Now we are one step closer to smartphone mental health, and that was the topic in this podcast. The source of your happiness are your thoughts, and they are even more accessible to you than your smartphones. How can you go wrong with that? How can you not utilize that? That is my question to you. With that, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He lifts any curtains that are hiding our true thoughts, and He forgives us for any wrong actions that we're taking inadvertently because we are not aware of these thoughts. I pray that He shows us a clear path to how to conquer these negative thoughts. And above all, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for enlightening us with this tool that I can refine and serve to all of you. With tons of love, I will leave you to think about these concepts. Until next time.
If you're interested in getting coached by me, I'm offering a very affordable opportunity to do that with Wisdom Wednesdays. This is not a course, not a lecture. This is an opportunity for live coaching, real change with Islamic adab and etiquette. You do not need more information. You actually need a space to create change. At $19.99 a month, which is the price of takeout dinner, you as a Muslim woman will create confidence, intimacy, and connection without shame or fear of judgment, because your privacy is my highest priority. So join at www.islamiclifecoachschool.com, resources, Wisdom Wednesdays. I'll see you inside, inshallah.